How are you? Welcome to DCP Talks number 3. Hi, welcome to DCP Talks episode 3. This week's episode is Feeling Trapped. My podcast will be featured on my website, www.authorstephencandace.com. I've written many books, like I said before, and many of those are on Audible. So I decided to get everything out there and all my books to be noticed, like everybody else feeding frenzy on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. We all know what that's about. We see it every day. Let's get to episode 3. We're going to discuss 2 books that are available on Audible as well, which you can get through my website. I will read a page from each book, and then we'll break it down, the books, and to get to the meaning of the book on the inside. You will have an opportunity to give me some feedback at authorstephencandace@gmail.com. Now let's get to it. This week's 2 books are Make the Call and Escape. The first book is Make the Call, narrated by Nor L. Lee. Narrated by Nor L. Lee. He has done some amateur voice-over productions, commercial work, and some local announcing. He lives in the state of Ohio in the United States. Why did I choose him? The answer is when he read the story, his voice fit perfectly, smooth, deep, and there was one part in the story where the casket opens that he fit it so perfectly, it just drew me right in. There you have it. Let me introduce you to Make the Call. This story is about 5 guys that grew up in the same neighborhood that became a family. They grew up in the state of Michigan. Starting from high school, they ran the drugs in the city. Later, they took over the city with buying their own liquor stores, taking advantage of dealing throughout the stores. What they could do what they want. How long does getting what you want last? What do you think they had to do to keep the city? Now, they had to keep it from others that want it. The leader has to find someone who will help keep him the area to himself. He finds a number. He gives this number to Steve. Whenever the situation arises, or someone that needs to go or disappear, Steve makes the call. He tells his brother, Steve, make the call. The leader tells his brother Steve to make the call. But there is another twist to this story. I guess you'll have to read it to find out. Book 2, Escape. Escape is narrated by Garrett McAnula. He is a thespian actor, voice actor of over 15 years. He is a professional in the sales department, and he lives in the state of California in the United States. Let me give you a little bit of talk about Escape. Charles loves a new girlfriend, but when he becomes trapped in her world, which he never even knew he was in, things change to the worse for Charles. He is forced to do things that we only read about. The decision that what he must make and do for survival. Charles is tossed into a prison like a maze with a mouse trying to find his cheese. There are more lies and deceit and twisted turns for him at every corner. I do know what it's like to feel trapped, but not like Charles. He will have to find his way out. Now, there is a difference between the 2 stories, Make the Call and Escape. They both have similarities. You have to stay hidden for many years while blending in everywhere at the same time. You only take what is needed, and you keep the city in control. Now with Charles, he has got to make sure he stays out of trouble. He's got to find a companion in the prison and help him to get what he needs to get done. Now, in Make the Call, the older sibling once always told me to be careful and read people wisely. Just saying. Now, let us break down escape. An intense animosity towards feeling trapped like a mouse in a maze, looking for an exit. Your emotions will flare out of control. Mass confusion, not knowing where to turn. Friends are hard to find, hard to keep, and keep your enemies closer, but not too close, if you know what I mean. And in prison, when the sheets cover the bars, woo, we know what's going on. Whoop, whoop, shit. You have to learn the whys, hows, what not to do. It's a completely way different way of life. Due to the rules in prisons, like taking a shower, eating, outside yard, sleep, no matter what they say, you have a strong urge to get the hell out of there, right? There ain't no bullshitting there. Hell, I was in jail for 10 damn hours, and that was the only time I was, and I don't ever want to go back. Like a dog in kennel, that's how you feel, caged up. Make the call. A hitman can hide wherever or whenever until the job is done, right? You would never know they're there. Very sleek, they stay out of sight, able to watch you in the distance for hours. Now that just makes you feel comfortable, don't it? Now they go by a different set of rules. They can be manipulative, controlling, unstoppable, and even turn on one another if the pay is right. They don't take shit. Now that's how that rolls. Now, individuals that may need to set themselves out differently from everybody else. We all know someone like that. And what I mean is, why do some individuals feel the need to do crazy shit? Like Louis in Make the Call. Crazy some bitch. For no reason, they will throw bottles. They will scream out loud at night. They'll smash a window. They just don't care. Kick a car. Stomp on it. I've never understood that. But I always felt we need some people like that if we need to get the job done sometimes. I knew a couple of individuals who were totally business people during the daytime, and then in the wee night hours, they turned to a tax collector. I knew a couple of individuals who were business orientated during the daytime. Then they would turn into tax collectors during the wee night hours, if you know what I mean. Hell, everyone wants to get paid. Who am I to judge? Holla! Hell, I pay my bills, that's all I'm saying. Why do some people feel the need to take control of a situation? If they have to find somebody, it becomes bad out of there where the people say, fuck you and not pay you. Well, they're reaping their own reward. They are reaping what they sow, so you have a right to do what you got to do. Everybody wants to get paid. Which brings us to secrets and lies. In Make the Call, these guys are running a city until new rivals enter the game. What kind of secrets and lies were told here? Shit, the Bible, I bet your money wasn't used. Why do some family members, or such as a brother, a sister, a partner, feel the need to lie to you? Or are they scared? Are they worried about your reaction? It must be pretty bad for that to happen. Try to keep ourselves satisfied in lies and don't trust anybody. That is the problem. Meanwhile, we always know someone who lies to us. And then we also know when our kids decide to lie, which they don't think we know. I love that one. How about in prison? All the secrets and lies that goes on in that place. You feel like everybody's hiding somebody. You feel like everybody is hiding something. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who to turn to. It's like having a partner accusing you of something. That's all I'm saying. I always felt the bullshit of somebody pointing the blame game. And how about in prison? If someone says you did something, now you got to defend yourself with like 50 people? That makes crazy. That's how shit hits the fan. All it takes is, I mean, if we don't pay attention to the media, hello, one lie can spread. Like they don't trust friends. Keep your enemies close. Remember that. Secrets are hidden for a reason. But all I know is the truth will set you free. Holla. Now, we all know someone who goes out on the weekends and seems to find themselves in the middle of shit. Like the stories I hear, let me explain. My friends know I write books, so they come and tell me a story that they've heard over the weekend, like crazy shit sometimes. The things that take place in the things that take place in the midnight hour, what some people would do. Of course, I didn't say that they were honest and the day is long. I wouldn't ask my partner to do it. Hell, if they're going to take care of something, shoot, I'd find the right person to take care of it. Which brings us to why people stay. In a world like make the call and escape, Charles is trying to finish the task at hand, which he must complete now and make the call. Whenever you are in the midnight hours, trust is everything. And in both stories, the task must be completed no matter the consequences. Much more serious by far in a book than it is in real life. Now, why do individuals feel the need to let go? What I mean is, why do some individuals feel they have so many secrets to hide their authentic selves, like Stephen make the call? He must be a secret to succeed, afraid to let the rest of us know his darker side. Why do some people do anything to keep what is theirs? In Make the Call, it's about keeping what is yours in the city, right? In Escape, it's about saving your own ass from being pruned in one of those bucks. But at the same time, you got to become stealth, and that's everything, all there is to it. Like I tell my granddaughters in high school, become stealth. Just lay low. In both stories, the goal is to remain calm so you don't get revealed at hand. They will spend every dime to find the right person to save their business. Anybody will. Hell, I was a troubleshooter for many, many years with the company. My job was to seek and find out the truth, and I was good at it, by the way. Shit, we all have a thing or two to do that we didn't like at times. I fired many people and didn't like it. Neither did they. But the truth will set you free. Holla. Once again, we need to cover this shit, which brings us to regret. Why do we regret something after we've done it? There is really no regret. Why? You know what you did, and you know you were aware of the consequences of your actions, so you took it upon yourself to make that decision, right? The excitement of doing something wrong or evil excites us all inside. You know it does. The feeling of explosion once something, the adrenaline in your body just bam, 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 ciphering off every piston. And all of a sudden things can escalate. We've all been there too. We let our emotions take over. Then sooner or later, it's a damn nightmare smacking us in the face. Consequences. The issue is that everybody knows consequences after you do something that is wrong. Shit. The feeling of guilt can overtake your emotions some fierce. Or worse, was thinking about somebody kicking in your front door. Not to mention that the police are going to make a visit. Hell no. Don't do it unless you must. That's all I'm saying. Like Charles in Escape, no matter what the task had to be completed. It may have something to do with a good movie called Goodfellas. In both stories can relate to the movie Goodfellas. If you've never seen it, it's a must. It is a great set of actors. Now that was a great movie, and it was extraordinarily showing how some people will do whatever it takes to get the job done. The moral of the story, like I used to tell my kids, the decisions we make today will affect you tomorrow. Hallelujah. It makes sense because, like both stories, there are so many characters that will keep you remembering them and entangled. There are so many different personalities slapping back and forth. You can relate to one of them. They blend in places where they meet people, and next thing you know, they feel like they are brother and sister all over themselves. I never needed somebody to do my bidding for me. Shit. I can holler about that.
But secrets and lies, damn, what they will do to a relationship. It doesn't make a difference. Imagine in prison what that would do to you. It can turn some people so cold and heartless like your worst enemies. Like shit, we've all been hurt. Hell, we're all guilty of such shit. I was one to apologize at least, but still, it doesn't make a difference. If someone points a finger, it's a guilt, and somebody's gonna believe it. I surely wasn't no saint. I'm sure you weren't either. But it's all about experiences that you learn and wisdom. So you gotta be smart. Like I told you, we've all been in relationships here and there, and these guys in these books, they're constantly doing things and constantly busy. How do you think their wives feel? I know what it was like to escape in the midnight hours. Unlike Charles, he in escape, who is in a cell. He can't leave. His ass is locked up. Hell, he even woke up in a cell. Fuck that. I used to work afternoons for years until 1 in the morning, 6 days a week, 10-hour days for Apple South that owned Applebee's. The frickin' slave drivers now when I look back. But I learned how to get my work done. I also learned that you are confined at work. You can't leave. Can't get a phone call 9 times out of 10. Maybe a couple here or there, but baby, you are in the dead zone, right? I have to make the most I have met the most interesting people during the midnight hours. They do some crazy shit, and you just sit there and smile watching them do it because it ain't you. So never try to tell me about sinners and saints during those midnight hours, man. I've seen it, been there, done it. Maybe that could be why in a lot of these stories or a lot of movies, you notice that, people at home, they feel like strangers to one another, couples. You see these movies, they don't talk. People come in, they bark, they tell somebody what they need, they say bye, in and out, and they're gone. Sounds like it could be trouble to me. Or what happens if one of the people is irritable with the other person? The minute they enter the room, your damn hair stands up. It doesn't mean they don't notice, but as soon as they're present, man, it irritates you. The minute that relationship, you just want to slap the tar out of the person, and they didn't even say anything yet. Now, how about the people that stay together because of kids? Yeah, it's honorable. But what about the kids? Did anybody ever ask the kids? Did anybody talk to the kids? No. Everybody figures we're going to save the kids. I promise you. It's better to get it over with, rip the Band-Aid right off the wound and take it. I promise you. Now, what happens if it's intimacy and sex is off the table because of all this stuff going on? Dry spells happen with every couple, busy schedules, family managed. But let me tell you, it's not a priority. But however, you need to take care of your spouse before your neighbor does. Just saying, holla. Now, your loved ones or people around you may be tired of you bickering, fighting like that shit, debating, and then it turns out to a full-blown argument. Like, what the hell is that about, right? I mean, seriously. Now, you can share your thoughts anytime you like. Author Stephen Candace at gmail.com. Our 2 recipes of the week. Today we're going to make some garlic bread with cheese for you. So the ingredients you're going to need is a hoagie roll, a half a cup of mozzarella cheese, a tablespoon of butter, and a half teaspoon of garlic powder. You're going to put your oven on 400, cut your hoagie roll in half, cut your hoagie roll in half. Mix the garlic powder with the garlic butter. Spread evenly over both halves all the way to the edges. Get a tray and put some foil on it. Place the bread face side down and cook for 5 to 10 minutes. Check it constantly until it's toasted. Flip it, and then you're going to put the cheese on it for another 1 or 2 minutes. Yum, yum. Now, Caesar salad, nice and easy for y'all. So we're going to have some garlic bread with Caesar salad. Take a head of lettuce, wash it up, cut it into squares. Take a 1/4 cup of Caesar dressing, a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, get a bag of croutons, your flavor, and you're going to toss them into a large bowl. You're going to mix it all up, put it into a little salad bowl. Now, put your croutons on after. I apologize for not saying that. Croutons later. All right. Things that make us go home. What is the deal with people who you live with just putting dirty dishes in the sink instead of the dishwasher, right? How rude. Like the dishes are just gonna walk along the counter, dip themselves over, open the door, and jump inside. Whew, my wife needs to stop that shit. Won't be listening anyways. I can get a holla, holla. All right, things about older shit this week. I remember when I was a child being punished. I remember my father saying that this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. And then whoop the hell out of your ass. Say what? Like, that was such bullshit. Lies. And then I think about the time they were looking forward to whooping you. I bet you any money I could hear it now. Oh, I've been waiting for this. I want to tear that ass right up. Like, damn. Light behind them whenever they open up the door and the burst open, and all of a sudden they look like Jason standing there, and the shit hits the fan before you know it. And this was before Jason came out, so it was scary shit. Now, this week's quote of the week. Sometimes becomes later. Sorry, read it over with. This week's quote of the week. Sometimes later becomes never. Do it now. 3 sentences. Sometimes later becomes never. Do it now. So let's enjoy our lives and everything around us. Relax and grab a good book. We will chat at you soon. Holla! Have a great day and looking forward to our next adventure. And DCP is out.